Hi, I'm 17 years old. I'm Lindsay Duty, and I'm a senior from Ozark, Missouri. Now, I'm thrilled to help present tonight's final award to Jessica Biel and Justin Timberlake. Now, I'm not gonna lie, when I first found out I was presenting to Justin Timberlake, I definitely cried myself a little river, for sure. Advocates like Jessica and Justin make it possible for students like me to be ourselves, even in my small town in Missouri. Now, I used to see LGBT students getting pushed into lockers and shoved to the floor. So, my sophomore year, I helped to start a GSA that now has more than 60 members. And we're fighting to make it clear that violence and abuse is not acceptable. Working with GLSEN has made me a stronger leader. My fellow National Student Council members motivate me to overcome my fears and advocate for change. And it's people like our next two honorees who pave the way for students like us. They're on our side even when it feels like nobody else is. And it's an honor to be welcoming them on stage tonight. It's also an honor to be here with Joe Z. Hey, Joe.
Woo! Okay, so I have to say, backstage, Lindsay invited me to the prom, so it's kind of an awesome night already because no one's ever asked me to the prom. Should I go? All right, I'm busy in April. I'm gonna be with Lindsay. I'm gonna go, right? Okay. Hi, everybody. I'm really honored to be here with all of you guys this evening and to present the Inspiration Award to my friends Justin Timberlake and Jessica Biel. So first of all, I have to say, so I listened to Lindsay and all these high schoolers here tonight, and I am so inspired by all of their stories. So like when I was in high school, and I knew I was different, you know, other kids really went out of the way to make sure I knew that. And there was really nowhere to turn for understanding or answers. You know, back then it was the 80s. There was no internet, there was no role models on TV, there were no advocates or even groups like Lindsay's at school that could really start that dialogue, and there was certainly no GLSEN. And I know how important having a community can be, somewhere that you can turn to. So today, as somebody who has an online platform as well as a daily talk show, I understand the responsibilities of inspiring this next generation. And that's only possible because I am inspired by people like Justin and Jessica. So we honor Justin and Jessica as two vocal and committed allies to the LGBT community who are devoted and committed to charitable work that continually improve the lives of youth today. And having known both of them for a long time, and I'm talking way back to NSYNC and Seventh Heaven days, they know. I can say that their generosity and their kindness have always been at the forefront of every single thing they do and how they do it. And of course, as new parents, I can say that their son is one lucky kid for so many reasons, but most of all to be raised by them. So Jessica Biel and Justin Timberlake are receiving the GLSEN Inspiration Award tonight for their long-standing commitment to improving the lives of children. And they've long been the vocal supporters of the LGBT community, using their profiles to raise awareness amongst fans and be advocates for positive change. And I'm sorry, Lindsay, she really wanted me to do a bye-bye-bye joke because it's the last thing of the night, but I don't think I can. Anyways, you guys, ladies and gentlemen, join me in honoring the inspiring Justin Timberlake and Jessica Biel.
I just want to say really quickly, growing up in Memphis, Tennessee, I was called all types of names just for being creative. And I remember I ended up on this small television show called the Disney Channel's new MMC. It's before Seventh Heaven. But not as important. And I was 10 years old, and all of a sudden I was around a group of young people that were like me, that were different. And I'll never forget a very good friend of mine, still to this day. He lives in Portland. He's an amazing songwriter and producer. His name is Matt Morris. We were, his mother and my mother became very close friends I was obsessed with his voice, like one of the most amazing voices. I actually learned how to riff because I would follow him around and he would go, "Ma," and I would be like, "Ma." And so I was probably very annoying to him. But I remember, I'll never forget, he was 14 years old, I was 12 years old, and we were riding our bikes in Orlando, Florida, where you ride your bikes. And he said, "Hey, man, I have something I have to tell you." And I said, "Yeah, I know." And he said, "No, it's very important to me." And I said, "Yeah, I know." And he said, "Okay, I'm just gonna say it." And I go, "Yeah, I know." He said, "I'm gay." To which I said, "Yeah, I know." And he said, "Really, you know?" I said, "Yeah, I know." He said, "How do you know?" I said, "Matt, you make us breakfast in your own tortilla pan with a headband on while you're wearing a mud mask every morning." I said, "And you know what? I love you for that." This is not part of our speech, but I just felt compelled to say it because it just kind of hit me. We're also big Mars fans, so we felt like, oh, this is yours? We also felt like this was appropriate.
I'm tilting mine to the side.
You're tilting yours. I'll tilt mine to the side, girl. Shit. Take them off. We look like we're in another boy band. Okay. These young people here tonight, we're just blown away, the two of us. Thank you so much. As Joe mentioned, and as you may have heard, we are, my beautiful wife and I are a couple of new parents. We're not very good at it yet. So first, we want to say thank you to GLSEN, not just for this meaningful honor we are proud to share, but for a quarter century of inspiring positive change, which means, yes, which means you are right around the same time as the Mickey Mouse Club, but still not as important as Seventh Heaven. I'm kidding, very important.
We want to thank you for leading the way to make our schools more safe, welcoming, and yes, inspiring places for all of our children. Thank you for inviting us here tonight to be part of this amazing event.
And also thank you for allowing Mommy and Daddy to have a rare date night out together.
Oh yeah.
With other adults. Honey, look around. This is what adults look like.
They do exist.
They do exist. You don't smell like poopy diapers. Some of you do.
We're okay with that, actually.
You know who you are.
To be new parents is to witness up close and very personal the full miracle that every individual little girl and boy really is. So thank you, GLSEN, so much for all that you do to ensure the individuality of every kid. Lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender is respected, protected, and treasured in our schools.
And to the young people that we are incredibly blown away by tonight. I'm talking to you, Mars. And also the young people who will read this quote or some quote of this from social media, hopefully not the profane one. Jess and I share this honor with all of you. Every day, all of you are also standing proudly on the right side of history. And even with all the trouble in our world today, this movement clearly is winning and is going to keep on winning. So, we say thank you for starting a trend for change, a change that one day would make it possible for our own son to grow up and thrive in a world where, like my new boss, he's going to be your boss at some point if he's not, Jeffrey Katzenberg, said, where all he has to do is just be himself.
And lastly, to anyone here tonight who may have been bullied or treated unfairly for being who you are,
Raise a hand. Oh, look, we all are the same.
we would like to leave you with a little quote from one of our favorite poets and playwrights, Oscar Wilde. A man who had no problem being his true self, even at a time when there was zero acceptance. And here it goes. Always forgive your enemies. Nothing annoys them so much.
GLSEN, we love you, we thank you, we stand by you. We're gonna stop talking now and keep the show moving because mommy's looking hot and it's date night. So we're gonna go home and you can figure out the rest. Good night, everybody. Thank you.